Hey everyone, my name is Simpsy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 Cold War mod. Here today on the channel, we're playing as the United States. This is episode 3. It's 1958, and we're currently under the Estes Kiefer administration. And if that sounds bizarre, it is. We are playing on historical AI focuses turned off, and we're currently dealing with the United States war against the Indians, being the Republic of Indians in, well, the Indian subcontinent. So, we had Truman, we had Eisenhower, and Estes somehow won the election. Don't know who he is, but I'm eager to learn more. We're going to do a quick recap on who he is. But due to Pakistan declaring war upon Afghanistan, typical, they were going to conquer the entirety of it, but India had other ideas and ultimately stopped them doing so. So Pakistan has capitulated, but due to our security guarantee, the United States is at war with India, going for regime change. And I suppose the boys in the Kremlin will have other thoughts about that and are helping and supplying, not officially but secretly, the government in Mumbai. Alright, so we just lost 20k units pushing into the south. I didn't say Estes was the best US president. So apparently Estes Kiefer was a US senator from Tennessee who gained fame for his investigations into organized crime. Now he is the criminal at the head of this Indian invasion. He authored an amendment on regulation. He was also an advocate for civil rights, healthcare reform, nice. He ran for the Democratic president nomination, but was unsuccessful twice. And died in 1963. It says here, from a heart attack while campaigning as governor for Tennessee. Yeehaw. Alright. So we're currently navally invading, trying to land in south of the continent. We've also got some naval invasions set up to try and retake Pakistan. So, a massive full-scale invasion into South Asia. We should have a decent amount of material. So far in this series, we didn't have the full-on Korean Civil War. Just some back and forth. It's now ended in a stalemate. We did try and help the French hold on to French Indochina. That ultimately was pushed back. Okay, we've got some US forces trying to land in the south here. Hopefully we are successful. We haven't really got any naval bases into the Middle East, but oh, here we go. We've landed in South India. Just need to capture that airfield in the south. They've only got 3. Nice. Oh, that's a lot better. Now we've got this airfield under our control. Currently tying at the moment. And we've landed here in Pakistan well. We're not fighting a small little proxy conflict. This is a full-on war now with India. And we've got the entire might of the United States going on in. Alright. Haven't really lost too many air wings or ships just yet. Just infantry was a bit harsh there. But we are... No, we are defending, but we are doing a massive naval invasion that we haven't seen since D-Day. But I think Stalin died early as well. So I'm curious to see how this campaign goes. There's obviously going to be main story beats, like the Vietnam War, the unification of Germany, and whatnot, but there's going to be wild conflicts like this. Already the USSR spread its influence in the Comintern to Greece after the socialists won there. Turkey was couped, but they ultimately left due to our subsidies. But if somehow India and Afghanistan joined them, already most of Europe is between NATO and the West and East. This is not good here. We are struggling with these naval invasions in the south. But so far, first time playing this mod. Checking it out. It's been fun. What do you guys reckon? Obviously it's a little bit different. You're not going around and conquering and annexing territory that much. It's taken even a while for us to have our first full-on war here. And we're even attempting to do that. But it's mostly just sort of propping up, helping out small proxy regimes. But it's been, what, 20 years since we're at a full-on war with the Indians, no less. So we're still trying to recalibrate and get everything up. Okay, so we seem to dominate them navally, so they're not going to be able to get any oil from the east, even though it's right there. Does India have a really strong fuel and petrochemical industry? Oh, I guess they're connected to Russia, so of course they do. They're pumping it in, the USSR. I'd imagine to some extent. Obviously the pipelines don't exist yet, but... And they've probably got synthetic petrochemical processing plants to some extent. But we're going to be choking off some of it. But at the moment, we do not have air support in the south. But still to look forward to as well. We've got the Berlin Wall, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Glasnost, and what is it? Perestroika. Oh my god, 100k have lost in the south. 100k Americans battling on the fields of India. Alright. I'm happy this got an update. I did play it like way back in the day. But there's so much stuff here. Mostly focusing on our navy as well. Do you guys like the UI? I actually don't mind it. It took me like, I think it's like you like need to get used to it. Your eyes get adjusted. Only 54k rifles though. We cleaned up some of those other battalions we had from the First World War. But yeah, no, it's a little bit controversial. The UI. Some people love it, some people don't. It's got some funky music, this mod, that I absolutely love. But fierce fighting is happening in the south here. Can be a little bit difficult to navally invade India, just like logistically, because we're going through the various straits. But although we got pushed back, we seem to be holding and maintaining position here now in August. But now we're in a wartime economy. Production is being ramped up as expenditure is a lot higher than what it otherwise would be. And Estes is sort of staking his administration here. But this is what I wanted to see. We obviously could have gone with historical AI focuses and then had like the linear sort of path. You know, losing in Nam. Keeping the Korean Peninsula divided. Obviously going with ticking it off due to the various national focuses for factions. There's always going to be some extent that it's going to be the same, but if we didn't, we wouldn't have had this wild and wacky conflict in the India Peninsula, where the United States is trying to overthrow the USSR Kremlin-backed government. I've retaken the airfield here now, and they've taken the bottom tip of India. There we go. Oh, I thought they had it. Technically, they didn't. Alright, look at that. And the instant is pumping in ships. Come on. If we can get some little amount of air support here, that'd be good. Oh my god, we're losing a lot though. But once India has fallen, next on is Pakistan, then Afghanistan. But if we're successful, this is going to be a massive, massive power shift. If we can, what? Puppet? Subjugate? Regionally administer India, like we are currently with Japan. And then eventually get them into NATO, that would be huge. Having them fully committed. And, well, I guess you can uncouple their logistics and supply chains and overall military industrial complex away from the USSR and bolt it to the US. Which would be massive. And if we ever do end up going to war, turning this Cold War to a hot war, as it were, having pretty much a united Indian subcontinent and Pakistan and Afghanistan on our side, that would be massive. Hell, if we ever need to go into Iran as well. Oh, so it looks like with our focus moved away, Japan is governing itself. Interesting. Still able to not have a military force, in quotations. Technically they have a defense force, but I imagine, like, realistically, you've got all those air bases, you've got all those logistic officers creating those air bases and all that administration team. How hard would it be to swing that over to India as we take territories like Monsoy? But it took us a couple goes here. Obviously in D-Day they sort of had one massive chance and strike to do it, but we've been allowed to repeatedly go on in. What's that little bit of green there? Oh, I guess it's the Portuguese. They currently hold some territory. January now, 1960. We're going to try and go as long as we can, as long as this mod allows us. Unless war breaks out earlier. But hopefully we want to get to a point where we are strategically, militarily stronger than the USSR, and we'll try and smash and break down that Iron Curtain, let's say. Okay, currently trying to improve our naval capacity, getting some higher quality submarines as well. Lockheed Martin getting some more additional contracts, as the front is now stabilized. And, oh my god, that's a massive chunk lost there. It's because of these air bases. And now the terrain is a little bit more favorable. We're even managing to pick up extra Indian supply and equipment they got laying around. Oh, we've got a naval invasion going on in Bengal. I wonder... I'm curious to see what states will get partitioned out of India if we are successful. But so far we're doing well. Still controlling the seas. Pretty much overall still. Yeah, although like we're technically at war with India, obviously the entire NATO faction isn't in because it is a defensive alliance. It is not a faction per se of what you would consider normally in Hoi. So, going around guaranteeing, propping up other countries and hoping we get drawn into a defensive war is what we kind of want, I guess. Currently going for a left-hand side encirclement here. A little bit strange that we're at war with a socially democrat country, but whatever. Alright, we've got some boots on the ground in southern Pakistan. Ready to liberate the country. And then hopefully eventually Afghanistan as well. So we're doing alright. We're slowly but surely pushing forward. Just under 60 divisions. Our destroyer capacity is going up as well. We haven't significantly lost any of our naval capacity, as India's naval fleet was rapidly destroyed incredibly early on, and we've taken 3 airfields in the south now, so they've only got 2 further back. They would have had some military capacity after World War II in and around, after the collapse of the Raj. But at the moment, we seem to be getting the better of them. Just got to be careful though, as we get them on the back foot. Just in case the USSR fully come on in. We're not dealing with a predictable Stalin. We are dealing with one of his upstarts. Okay. Another naval invasion done there. Yeah. It's interesting that we just seem to be dominating the seas. Like we got better quality naval ships in capacity, while the USSR and the Soviets have the better quality ships with the Air Force with the MiGs and the what, I don't know, the Sus or whatever they are. Okay. Still about 60% towards capitulation. But so far, we keep on going 2 steps forward. Nice. If we can, ideally, create a land bridge and get all of this coastal territory under our control, that will severely deplete their coastal supply. It's going to be... What's going to be really hard in India is dealing with their territory in and around that Nepal and Tibetan plateau, high in the mountains. Our tanks are really equipped for flying across flat terrain. They're not those Korean mountainous tanks. Okay, 50% now. Nearly capitulated, but okay. Nearly creating that supply corridor. We're about to do it as well. We're about to topple India. Wowee. Estes. What a prize. If he pulls it off. Things got a little bit hairy there because we lost... we're never losing to Pakistan, but... We lost, well, we lost 2 divisions. I think it was probably about, nearly about 100k in Korea, and we didn't get anything for it. What's going on here in India? Resistance-wise. Not too shabby, but... So far, slowly but surely, surging. Against the Indian regime. Oh, nice. We full on deciphered their encryption. Must have seized a bunch of valuable documents as we push further into the country. What's this? They're at war with Algeria. Interesting. Okay, so we finally collected that bridge. Oh, okay, we're like 75% in favour. It's only a matter of time. And once India has fallen, we're going to be able to focus our full might into Pakistan and Afghanistan and liberate it as well. India actually throwing in this game. Oh my. Well, unfortunately on that note, guys, I've got to wrap things up here. Thank you very much for watching episode 3 of the Hearts of Iron 4 Cold War mod, playing as Estes, President Estes. Stay tuned for episode 4 coming out soon, where we're going to continue this war on the Indian subcontinent as we push into the Roaring 60s. Make sure to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new if you haven't already. If you want to see more from me, check out the videos on screen. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been Simpsy, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.